Hello everybody, it's Dante here. I am here in Varanasi, also known as Benares, also known as Kashi, famous for its guts, entrances to the holy Ganga. And these stairs, there's a lot of boats moving around right now because they are all planning to come for the evening arti. On Facebook and Instagram, I've occasionally posted some videos and clips from those experiences. I wanted to post some channeling videos, but I've honestly not had time, and so I'm making this video instead to post a little update, at least share something, continuing the travel vlog. I've been in India almost 2 months now. In a couple days it'll be 2 months, and I haven't posted a travel vlog this whole time, and I've been in so many places, and I think that's just the experience of India, is that there has been so many things to do all the time that I haven't really had the time for a lot of the things like my projects and channeling and even basic communications with others sometimes, especially because of the time zone. So I'm in the flow of India on India time and not as much in my normal routines, which is great. India is such a contrast of so many different kinds of experiences. There's this incredible devotion that you experience in the temples, and the way that spirituality and their way of relating with their god and gods is such a common thing here. And then there's the contrast of how loud it can be and how polluted the air can be, and there's incredible kindness and just amazing people coming up all the time. Amazing, so they're all amazing in some way. Sometimes amazingly nice people you meet, and sometimes people that are just like after the money. And it's taken, honestly, Egypt was a bit more intense than this, and I'm glad I came there first because it kind of prepared me. I had a big resistance or fear of coming to India because I was once here for 5 months 8 years ago, and I had the most disastrous, challenging experience, being totally broke, totally sick, totally dependent on a partner and in conflict with them, and really dedicated to the yoga nonetheless, but not feeling wellness and balance on any level, and being so overwhelmed by this place. And it was kind of like a trauma that I had framed it always in the past as like that's what made me stronger, and after that is when everything started to take off for me in terms of sharing my offerings and really reaching people, and really that taking off, because it kind of did. It's like India, the first time kicked my ass into gear and got me to really land on the planet, just seeing how intense things could be, and living through such an experience made me very grateful for what I had and what was possible, and also shattered some illusions that I had had about what spirituality might be here or anywhere, and realized it was very much within me. And at the same time, that was a different chapter where I've evolved into so much of what I do, and to be in another culture and have the challenge and the expansion of that is something that really, really changes and shifts my perspective. And it's been very fun, what can I say? So the trip has been starting in Pondicherry, which is a former French colony, and there's Oroville, which is the biggest intentional community and permaculture project on the planet that I'm aware of. Starting back in the 60s and 70s, there's a very special meditation hall in this very futuristic looking dome-like building. And it's a, oh, okay, yeah. So I just Baba gave me a blanket. Um, and what was I saying? So there's a very beautiful futuristic building that's completely silent, surrounded by silence, surrounded by some acres of quiet space, which is so different for India, which is such a loud place. And it was funny to kind of start in the quietest and then move into the loudest, which is where I am now. So from there I had a really good time. I learned how to ride a scooter for the first time and was just driving around on my own scooter, which was like an empowering experience. And so fun to just be able to go all over the place. Even though I didn't go to that much of a variety of places, it was kind of pre-season before there was all that many things to do there. And so I then went to Tiruvannamalai, which is one of the places I was very excited about going and coming to India, which is a holy mountain that is Lord Shiva. And there's a myth of Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu all talking about who is the greatest, and Shiva and Vishnu challenging each other to see who is the greatest. And Shiva said, "Whoever can find me is the greatest." And Shiva became an infinitely stretching up and down column that had no beginning and no end. And Brahma went all the way down to find Shiva, and Vishnu went all the way to the top to find Shiva. Neither of them could find Shiva, and therefore Shiva proved that he was best. This is a myth that several people have told me, and somehow it's connected to that place. But anyway, every month they walk on the full moon. People walk all around it, singing Om Namah Shivaya over the loudspeakers for hours on end. There's many different temples that people go to, and walking barefoot for 14 kilometers, and that was such an incredible, ecstatic, devotional experience to really arrive in this place. And it was such a contrast to my other experiences in India many years ago, where I felt people were just pushing and shoving to get to the front of the temple, and it was more of this aggressive energy, and there it was more peaceful, and really just allowed me to take in this culture and spirituality in a deeper way. And surprisingly, I met a friend in Tiru that I know from Mexico, and that caused me to extend my stay there. Every day, postponed a day to stay in that hostel. No, it was a hotel rather. Anyway, another day longer, and he told me about a yoga center in Mysore that was very affordable, about Bangalore Pride, that he was going, and he didn't actually end up coming, but that nonetheless diverted me to Mysore. And before I got there, I got into a little scooter accident, and this wasn't so good. Luckily, I drove it directly into the sewer. It was kind of my fault. I was very excited because the roads here are very noisy, and it's hard to. I was just learning to drive, and they are kind of hectic. Everybody kind of passing each other. And so as soon as I got off the road onto the small road near where I lived, I was always so happy. I'm like, yeah, now I can go fast now that I'm away from everyone else. And I think I went a little bit too fast after getting too comfortable on it. And I didn't see a cow in the road until too late in front of where I was about to turn. So in order to avoid the cow, I accidentally drove into the sewer. And some local people helped me out, pulling. They responded very quickly, and everybody came out. They tied a rope around it and tied a big stick to it, and they pulled on it, and I pushed from down in the sewer. It's a little bit gross. I got a cut that took like 3 weeks to heal. It was a bit of a concern at a point. It was almost like the sign that I should have just stayed in Tiru, and maybe I should have stayed a little bit longer to recover, because I went to Mysore right away after, and the yoga was very hard to do with the injury. And then I liked the yoga nonetheless. It really supported me, and just seeing a couple areas where I could actually go deeper into the practices I was doing, because certain poses that I just hadn't done before. And after so many years of doing it on my own, it's good to have a bit of structure to be guided in doing something differently. So anyway, I then after got a massage to kind of support the healing process of the first injury, and I was so relaxed that I was not paying attention in the street, and I was crossing, and immediately I was walking like this, and my elbow got hit by the car. Luckily that it was a pretty big car, so luckily I hadn't taken one further step, because had I done that, I might be in a lot more trouble. But it was a kind of odd thing. And so then I was just bummed, because I'd come all the way to this place to do yoga and couldn't actually do it because I was recovering. 2 days later, forced myself to start the practice again, but it was a bit pained, and after some days, leaving the city, going to the yoga ashram and practicing there, some of the basic things I couldn't actually do. So it was a bit odd, but I then went onward to Bangalore, and Pride there was pretty incredible, to experience Pride in this culture, and how open and fun it was to talk with people. People were so friendly and interested, and that was a highlight for me for sure, because there was such a strong energy. And India is a pretty homophobic place still. It's only 4 years ago that many gay relations have been decriminalized. So in a city of like 8 million or 10 million people, there was maybe like 3,000 or 4,000 there, which is actually a quite small turnout. But nonetheless, for that amount of people, right? But nonetheless, it was really beautiful, and talked to some really interesting people, and actually stayed up all night with some of them one night, having these deep philosophical conversations. Wow. So, and that was a good experience also, in that I challenged myself to face that energy of a mega city, which was mega. It takes like 2 hours in traffic to get from one to the other at times. So in Mysore, I met a student who's in the astrology class that I'm in online, who said our teacher and the teacher's teacher and tons of people are coming to Odisha, the native language, for a conference, and that he's going and I should come. And didn't want to come because it was so far north, and the south has this, first of all, it's more tropical, but there's a relaxed vibe, and there's more, it's more cleaner, and people are less kind of in your face, still this open, friendly magic, but there's less kind of manipulation and intensity and air pollution there. And the food is so good, and they're just so easy for me. Dosa, idli, wow. So I was really content, and I didn't want to come any further than this. But the astrology conference was definitely something for me that I really felt like, it's one of, I want to study everything. I mean, I'm channeling, I have this psychic gift, but I'm also interested in the knowledge and information that comes from this world very much. And astrology is one of the big focuses right now, so I'm like, well, I'm here. This is a chance to meet the teachers, and probably won't be here in any recent future, so might as well dive in. And I'm really glad I did. Odisha is not so much on the tourist map, and to experience that place was really pleasant, and made some friends right away. A local pandit or priest was driving me all around on the scooter. I just walked past one temple, and he was like, you get on my scooter now. I'm like, can I really get on this guy's scooter right now? And after talking to him a couple minutes and clarifying what we're going to do. I was like, okay, I'm going to get on a scooter. He texts me all the time. I haven't been really responding to anybody, let alone him. I need to kind of talk that one through. A bunch of people I've met give my number and they want to just keep chatting away. It's sweet though, but I'm in a space of really still doing a lot and needing to pull my energy more inside to rest. Anyway, so the conference was really good. I could make a whole other video about the astrology. It's just something I'm still processing a lot, but the information is really good, and it gets me thinking about my own path, but also the information is really expanding my knowledge base, so I'm really excited to see what happens and how the readings will become in the future. And there, my teacher said, come to Varanasi because there's another conference there. And it's full already, but sure, you can get in. Why wouldn't you be able to get in? And so I came here, and this was really the matter of overcoming whatever I had experienced the time before, as this was the region of India, one of them where I felt so challenged and so out of my mind and so desperate in a way. Desperate, I don't know. It was like I was in survival mode the entire time. You know, the whole video to talk about that experience of India, so I'm just talking about this one, but I just remember the feeling that I had back then was always like, what could go wrong? Something could go wrong at any moment. I had all my stuff stolen from the first day, and I was so unhealthy. And even, you know, being with the person that I was dependent on and traveling felt tense. So there was no area where there was ease. And despite that, I was really pushing myself to work through it with the yoga, with the meditation, with everything. But I left feeling like I don't want to put myself through something like that ever again. And to come this time has been recognizing that even in the chaos, I've got myself, even in the having to be very aware of the surroundings and deal with a lot of sounds and smells and this place that somehow feels ancient is ancient. It's actually the oldest inhabited city in the world. People have been living here for like, what's the number they threw out, like 5,000 years, I think. Obviously not the same buildings, but people have been here long. And there's this ancientness in the air where you can feel this, you know, every evening, all the time, doing pujas and ceremonies and praying. There's something, it's like one of those experiences where it's so hard to put to words while you're still in it, but it awakens something. And it's like surrendering into transformation and trust and letting go and really bringing me back to what's most important. Anyways, the air is intense. So much burning. But breathe it all in. It's a moment. It's just a moment. And so here is, there are burning guts where for, I think he said 3,000 years, 1,000 years, the same fire has been burning to light the cremation pyres, and it's considered a huge, incredible blessing to be cremated here in front of the Ganga. And so that's why one reason why this is such a holy place. This is also the place where Buddha gave his first teaching, and is a pilgrimage site for Buddhists. That part of town is a bit further away. Yeah, India is just so nice. So, it's a little portal into what's been going on here. And next stop is Thailand in some days. I think I would have a lot more to say about all of these experiences if I wasn't somehow still in it right now, but I wanted to record the video of being out here. But it's also a bit harder to think and process when I'm still immersed in it. Just being aware of my surroundings and knowing people are listening to. But I just wanted to share an update. I haven't been so active on social media or anything, especially during the time of the conference, because it's from like, I wake up at like 5:30 or 6, leave at 7, there till 6 on some days, and some days they're even longer. And then a couple of my friends that happen to be here, friends in from Guatemala, in Varanasi, unplanned. And so I've spent some downtime connecting with them because it's somehow so random, but that's how this traveling life works, is that in places big and small, obviously a lot of the people in this on this vibe in the traveling, I hate the term new age because it has so much bad press these days. The tribe. I hate that term too because it seems so cliche. But us people, we end up in the same places. And of course this is one of them that people go to, but it's not one that people stay for very long, generally. So it's very funny.
You got like tea?
Tea?
Tea? You got like?
Oh yeah, sure, one tea. Okay. He's getting me a tea. I didn't want to film him too much non-consensually, but I'm sure it probably would have been consented to. He is definitely expecting a bit of a gift, some money for sitting on the blanket and bringing me tea, obviously, but I am happy to give it to him. Give a little bit to somebody every day here because it's in the air, the awareness of karma, and it's part of the culture, and you need it. So, in general, people sometimes hear the challenges of this place, and especially, I mean, in a way, I've been loving it so much. In a way, not meeting people who are from the same culture and just being fully in this one is like such a journey, and everybody outside's always talking to you. It's like for me, it's like it's somebody who's already in this heart-centered way, having people come up with this energy. Oh, thanks so much, Dhanyavad. Is
My name is Rajesh Baba.
your name what?
Rajesh Baba.
Ganesh Baba.
Rajesh.
Baba.
Baba.
Nice.
Rajesh Baba.
Cool. Good to meet you.
My number
I'm done.
87
Uh-huh.
87
Mm-hmm.
87 95 8795
Okay.
116371.
I'm recording now, but maybe I take it after.
My phone number.
Okay. I'm actually recording right now on the video, but I take your number after.
Man, this is I am big problem. This is Jakham.
What problem?
Jakham. This is.
What
There
is the
Jakham.
disease?
There is Jakham. This is no teeth.
Oh, teeth.
No teeth open.
Teeth falling out.
This is very big problem. I am very tired, sir.
It hurts?
This is very problem. Yeah,
It hurts your jaw?
हाँ बिल्कुल कुछ नहीं जाता अंदर. I know open teeth.
Yeah.
This close.
Yeah.
I am milk. I am ऐसे.
You have toothbrush, toothpaste?
हाँ.
You brush teeth?
हाँ.
Yeah.
No teeth.
No teeth. Yeah.
Open no. This is Jakham.
Yeah.
Big Jakham.
Big problem.
I know don't money. Your daughter medicine
Mm.
money problem. This is big money problem.
Yeah.
I am medicine. This is daughter.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hold on 1 second. I give you some money in a bit. I just talking on the phone right now.
ठीक है.
1 second. So I think this is longer than I wanted to record for, so I'm going to end the video here. But yeah, I hope you like seeing into this world. And there's such a...
अभी तो पिया
No, thank you. We have
तेरा
to...
इंतजार करके आप क्या?
Yeah, in this world, it opens you to something.
तेरा पता नहीं चलता है.
Being in any different culture opens you to something. But there's something quite special about this one.
एक शर्मा जी हैं यहाँ पे
It'll be easier to talk about once the journey is
आज की कल
हाँ, हाँ.
वो माल मंगा
That's
रहे
for
हैं
now.
अच्छा.
यहाँ से क्या बोलते हैं